All right, joining us now, Avery Friedman, a civil rights attorney and law professor from Cleveland, and Richard Herman, a criminal defense attorney and law professor from Las Vegas. Good to see you both.
Hi,
Frederica.
And then, Richard, if the family were to pursue, could they even use not just the audio tape to demonstrate the demeanor of the dispatcher, but even the interim police chief there by saying, you know, that he knows that everybody would expect a better response, and at the same time saying he doesn't believe that anything criminal happened and it didn't violate policy either?
Unfortunately, Fred, and the reality here, after the visual response that we have in listening to this gut-wrenching recording, is that there is no litigation here. There is no causation. The dispatcher was horrible. She was disgusting. I cannot believe it's not some violation of policy. And if it's not, they better redo their policies like yesterday. But the mere fact
so you don't even see in terms of a case
woman,
that would say that added to her suffering.
No, no, because what did she do? They eventually the EMS got there. Eventually, they got there.
But too late.
I don't know how long it took them to get there. Yeah. That wasn't their fault.
1 hour,
the dispatcher.
55 minutes after the death.
But it wasn't. But that's not the dispatcher's fault. The dispatcher was rude and nasty.
Yeah, so
it was
58
but that
minutes.
didn't cause the death.
Right. So there was a 58-minute, gap between her call and when, response teams were able to get there. But we don't know about those circumstances. And if even that's where the complaint will go, it really sounds like the complaint is primarily on what preceded her death and
that's going nowhere.
Really, and just the lack of compassion and that, she was
suffering.
Sue for
lack of compassion.
You can't
lack
sue
of
for lack of
compassion is not a cause of action. It's not going to happen, Fred. There's no case for that. I'm sorry, there isn't.
So there isn't a policy.
It took them so long.
There wouldn't be a policy when you're in a position such as dispatch or emergency response to extend, some humanity to somebody when they're suffering.
That's
it
very
should be.
wonderful.
It absolutely should be. Didn't result in this thing. That's the problem.
But doesn't it seem, Richard, in a
Fred.
job like that, in a role like that, there is even like an oath of service. When people call who need help, that comes with the territory, some extension of comfort, even if you're not able or in a position to fix it right away. But I mean, she was, in a state of panic, which I think everyone could identify with, and wasn't even able to get, an ounce of compassion, even if the dispatcher couldn't fix it.
And the dispatcher obviously is burned out. She put in her notice August 9th to end the job. So she's burned out. She's had enough. They were getting inundated with calls, people stranded in floods. And this poor victim was unable to immediately identify her location. She's in a panic.
One caller or dozens of calls.
Right. It's horrible. There's no defense to this, but there's also no causation for the damages and for the death by this dispatcher. That's why there's no case, Fred.
All right, I got you. So, Richard, no case. Avery, you do believe there's a case, huh?
I think there is a case. So.
That 1800 case, bring that. That's good.
All right, we'll leave it there. All right, our hearts go out to her and her family. It's just so sad.
Yes,
Thank you,
horrible.
Avery and Richard. Appreciate it.